こんにちは、スプルスイクコです。パート2の動画になります。今回は特に雑談とはしていません。本を読んでいます。真面目に読んでいるかっていうとちょっと疑問なんですが、というのがちょっと疲れが出てまして、クスクスと笑ったりとかしてて、ニキがちょっと険しい顔をしていますが、ご覧ください。では始めます。
Do I have to continue? Okay. What other things must I look for to recognize the witch? I asked. Look for the nose holes. My grandmother said witches have slightly larger nose holes than ordinary people. The rim of each nose hole is pink and curvy, like a rim of a certain kind of seashell.
Are you saying rim?
Rim.
R-I-M?
R-I-M.
Right.
Rim. Rim is like an edge.
Yes.
There. Seashell. Why do they have such big nose holes? I asked. For smelling with. My grandmother said. A real witch has the most amazing powers of smell. She can actually smell out a child who is standing on the other side of the street on a pitch-black night. She couldn't smell me, I said. I've just had a bath. Oh yes, she could, my grandmother said. The cleaner you happen to be, the more smelly you are to a witch. That can't be true, I said. An absolutely clean child gives off the most ghastly stench to a witch, my grandmother said.
Do you know what a ghastly stench is?
Ghastly is very? No. Smelly?
Horrid.
Horror.
Horrid.
Horrid. Stench? Smelly? The dirtier you are, the less you smell. But that doesn't make sense, Grandma. Oh yes, it does. My grandmother said, it isn't the dirt that the witch is smelling. It is you, the smell that drives the witch mad actually comes right out of your own skin.
What, might? Is it might?
Might. No.
Not that.
No, I have to say it again. The smell that drives the witch mad actually comes right out of your own skin. It comes oozing out of your skin in waves. And these waves, stink waves, that's witches call them, go floating through the air and hit the witch right smack in her nostrils. They sent her reeling. Now, wait a minute, Grandma. Don't interrupt, she said. The point is this. When you haven't washed for a week and your skin is all covered over with dirt.
Covered.
Your skin is all covered over with dirt. Then quite obviously the stink waves cannot come oozing out nearly so strongly. I shall never have a bath again, I said. Just don't have one too often. Do you say often or often?
Often.
Just don't have one too often.
ですね、この often です。often っていう人もいるし、often っていう人もいます。私の周りでは結構 often が多いです。
Mother said, once a month is quite enough for a sensible child. It was at moments like this that I loved my grandmother more than ever. Grandmama, I said, if it's a dark night, how can a witch smell the difference between a child and a grown-up? Child and a grown-up? Because grown-ups don't give out stink waves, she said. Only child do that. But I don't really give out stink waves, do I? I said, I'm not giving them out at this very moment, am I? Am I? Do you say am I or am I?
Am I?
Am I? Am I? Not to me, you aren't, my grandmother said. To me, you are smelling like a raspberries.
Raspberries.
Raspberry. Oh. Raspberries and cream.
raspberries ですね。raspberry。S がついてて raspberries。このスペルに P が入ってますけれども、これは発音しません。S も発音しませんね。SP 入ってますけど、発音しないです。
Oh, I love raspberries.
But to a witch you would be smelling absolutely disgusting. What would I be smelling of? I asked. Dog's droppings, my grandmother said. I reeled. I was stunned. Dog's droppings. I cried. I'm not smelling of dog's droppings. I don't believe it. I won't believe it. What's more, grandmother said, speaking with a touch of relish, to a witch you'd be smelling of fresh dog's droppings.
Yes, droppings.
That simply is not true, I cried. I know I am not smelling of dog's droppings, stale or fresh. There's no point in arguing about it, my grandmother said. It's a fact of life. I was outraged. I simply couldn't bring myself to believe what my grandmother was telling me. So if you see a woman holding her nose as she passes you in the street, she went on, that woman could easily be a witch. I decided to change the subject. Tell me what else to look for in a witch, I said. The eyes, my grandmother said. Look carefully at the eyes, because the eyes of a real witch are different from yours and mine.
Yours
and mine.
yours ですね。your じゃない、yours じゃなくて yours。
Look in the middle of each eye, where there is normally a little black dot. If she is a witch, the black dot will keep changing color, and you will see fire and you will see eyes dancing right in the very center of the colored dot. It will send shivers running all over your skin. My grandmother leant back in
Lent.
My grandmother leant back in her chair and
Is there a T in it?
Yeah.
Yes.
lent ですね。原型が lean です。もたれかかるっていうことですね。lean, lent, lent。もう一つはですね、過去形でも lean, leaned, leaned というふうの2つあります。この本では lent になっています。
and sucked away, contentedly.
Sucked. What's she
SU
sucking on?
Yeah, the end is a yes.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Okay, my grandmother leant back in her chair and sucked away contentedly at her folded black cigar.
At her
Fold back cigar.
What?
Fold? F-O-U-L.
foul.
Foul. Foul. Her foul back cigar. At her foul back cigar.
Back. Are you black?
Foul. Back cigar. No, black cigar. Black cigar.
Foul.
At her foul back cigar.
Back. B-A-C-K?
Black.
Black. Foul black,
Black
cigar. Right.
すいません、なんかもうちょっとですね、なんか疲れてるって感じですね。ブラックがバックに見える。でもこのブラック、バック、ただ L があるかないかなんですけども、このあですね。ブラック。で、foul。で、her foul black cigar。なんかちょっとなんか匂いの悪い黒い、シガーなんで、葉巻ですね。まあ、葉巻ってすごい匂いが強烈じゃないですか。だから子供はこういうふうに感じたっていうことです。
Our black cigar.
Her foul black cigar.
Right.
Cigar. I squatted on the floor. I squatted on the floor.
You what? You what on the floor?
I squatted. Squatted.
Squatted.
Squatted. I squatted on the floor, staring up at her.
英語のsquatted ですね。squat。これはですね、まあ膝もつくっていうことなんですけれども、まあ足を曲げるっていうことですね。エクササイズだと、日本だったらスクワットって言いますけれども、これです。スクワットです。なんです。スクワットっていうのはカタカナ英語ですね。スクワットです。過去形なので、squatted.
Fascinated. I squatted on the floor, staring up at her, fascinated. She was not smiling. She looked deadly serious. Are there other things? I asked her. Of course there are other things, my grandmother said. You don't seem to understand that which is not actually women at all. They look like a woman. They talk like a woman, and they are able to act like women. Women. But in actual fact, they are totally different animals. They are they are demons in human shape. That is why their claws and bald heads and
Claws.
claws and
Claws and
claws
bald
and
head.
bald claws and bald heads and noses.
What?
What?
Colonel Noses.
Queer.
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 Queer
noses.
Queer noses and peculiar eyes, all of which have where is this? All of which they have to conceal as best they can from the rest of the world. What else is different about them, Grandma? The feet, she said, which is never have toes. No toes? I cried. Then what do they have? They just have feet, my grandmother said. The feet have square ends with no toes on them at all. Does that make it difficult to walk? I asked. Not at all, my grandmother said, but it does give them a problem with their shoes. All ladies, like,
All ladies.
like
これこの L が続いてるので非常に難しいですね。all ladies 舌をこう弾くんですけど all で止めて L って止める音と弾く音、これが並びます。all ladies
to wear small, rather pointed shoes, but whose feet are very wide and square at the ends, had the most awful job squeezing her feet into those neat little pointed shoes. Why doesn't she wear wide, comfy shoes with square ends? I asked. She dare not, my grandmother said. Just as she hides her baldness with a wig, she must also hide her ugly witch's feet.
Hello.
Hello. Squeeze her feet into wear shoes with cream. Just as she hides her baldness with a wig, she must also hide her ugly witch's feet by squeezing them into pretty shoes. Isn't that terribly uncomfortable? I said. No, isn't that terribly uncomfortable?
Terribly.
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 Terribly uncomfortably, I said. Extremely uncomfortable. Comfortable, my grandmother said. But she has to put up with it. If she's wearing ordinary shoes, it won't help me to recognize her, will it, Grandma? I'm afraid it won't, my grandmother said. You might possibly see her limping very slightly, but only if you were watching closely. Are those the only differences then, Grandma? There's one more, my grandmother said. Just one more. What is it, Grandma? Their spit is blue. Blue? I cried. Not blue. Their spit can't be blue.
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 Blue. Blue.
No. Blue. BL, blue. Not brew, that's what you do with tea. It's blue.
Blue.
That's it.
Blue.
Don't forget to move your mouth more.
Okay.
ですね。ブってですね。ブルー。今です。で、で舌が後ろに入るんですね。でブでブとなって、で次は L でブルー。L で弾くんですけど、ブルー。舌を後ろに引っかまえないといけないんですね。だけどこう息を吐いてブルー難しいですね。なので唇が前に出ると、普通のブルーって言ってもダメなんですね。日本語的にブルーと言ってもブルーです。練習してみてください。
Their spit can't be blue. Is it? Okay. Blue as a bilberry, she said. You don't mean it. What's a bilberry? The one of the fruit.
Yeah, are you saying blueberry or are you saying...
But she said this one, blueberry.
Blueberry.
Is it blueberry? No.
Blueberry. We say blueberry. Then you get blackberries. And blueberries.
ですね、ちょっと彼女にちゃんとスペルを見せてなかったので、ブルーベリーと思ったみたいなんですけども、これはビルベリーと書いてありました。
You don't mean it, grandmother. Nobody can have blue spit. Witches can, she said. Is it like ink? I asked. Exactly, she said. They even use it to write with it. They use those old-fashioned pens that have a nib, and they simply lick the nib. No, lick the nib.
ですね、今自分で言ってて自分でなんか一人笑ってるんですけど、ニップと言ったんですね。ニップって悪い言葉で日本人を差別する用語です。それを自分で言ってて笑ったということですね。
Nib.
Can
you notice the blue spit, grandmother? No, grandma. Can you notice the blue spit, grandma? If a witch was talking to me, would I be able to notice it? Only if you looked carefully, my grandmother said. If you looked very carefully, you would probably see a slight bluish ting on her teeth, but it doesn't show much. It would if she spat, I said.
It would if she spat, she said.
It would if she spat, I said. Witches never spit, my grandmother said. They daren't. I couldn't believe my grandmother would be lying to me. She went to church every morning of the week, and she said grace before every meal, and somebody who did that would never tell lies. I was beginning to believe every word she spoke. So there you are, my grandmother said. That's about all I can tell you. None of it is very helpful. You can still never be absolutely sure whether a woman is a witch or not just by looking at her. But if she is wearing the gloves, if she has large nose holes, the queer eyes and the hair that looks as though it might be a wig, and if she has a bluish tinge in her teeth.
Tinge.
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 Tinge. Tinge on her teeth. Tinge on her teeth. If she has all of these things, then you run like mad. Grandma said, "When you were a little girl, did you ever meet a witch? Did you ever meet a witch?" "Once," my grandmother said. "Only once." "What happened?" "I'm not going to tell you," she said. It would frighten you out of your skin and give you bad dreams." "Please tell me," I begged. "No," she said. "Certain things are too horrible to talk about." "Does it have something to do with your missing thumb?" I asked.
Plum?
Thumb.
Thumb.
With your missing, does it have something to do with your missing thumb? I asked. Suddenly her old wrinkled lip shut tight as a pair of tongues, and the hand that held the cigar, which had not a thumb on it, began to quiver very slightly. I waited. She didn't look at me. She didn't speak. All of a sudden, she had shut herself off completely. The conversation was finished. "Good night, Grandma," I said, rising from the floor and kissing her on the cheek. She didn't move. I crept out of the room and went to my bedroom. Chapter finished.
Yeah, your English is getting much better, actually.
Better?
Yes.
Oh, that's
You've
so-
only done it 3 times, but
it's much better.
Yes.
Much clearer.
Yes. Clearer.
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 Clearer. So I think today is good enough. Thank
Yes.
you very much.
I think perhaps it is.
It's really hot here, so
Yeah.
yeah.
We should have started earlier. Maybe.
Yeah, yes, because
Anyway, we didn't.
Yes. Okay, so thank you so much, and see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
以上になります。ですね、日記曰く私の、読んでるのが前よりもクリアになってきたと。クリアラーですね。クリアの、学級です。クリアラーになってきたと言ってくれています。ただですね、自分が自分を見てると、やっぱりですね、最初は口が動いてるのに途中から動かなくなったりとか、なんか読むので集中すると今度は口の方の動きを忘れてしまうみたいな、なんかそんな感じですね。っていうのが私のやっぱ感想です。とってもいい暖かいというか暑い日だったで、ちょっと始めるのは遅かったので2人とも なんか暑いっていう感じで、この後ローラと一緒に、楽しく喋って、家に帰ったということになります。パート1、パート2で、ご覧いただきました。本のリンクを下に貼っておきますので、よろしかったら見てみてください。ですね、多分図書館とかでも見つかると思いますので、私の参考にして、読んでみてください。練習してみてください。それではまた次回の動画でお会いしましょう。I'll see you in the next video. Bye!